Our world, a tapestry of wonders, often reveals its most profound secrets to those who venture beyond the beaten path. One that will take us far from the bustling cities and well-trodden tourist trails. This is not a tour of landmarks you might find on a postcard, but an exploration into the very heart of Earth's most extraordinary and clandestine creations. These are the corners of our planet that have remained largely untouched, sculpted by time and the raw power of nature into landscapes of breathtaking, almost surreal beauty. They are places that challenge our perception of what is possible, where the ordinary rules of biology and geology seem to bend and break. Our first destination lies in the Indian Ocean, a fragment of an ancient supercontinent, isolated for millions of years. This is Satra Island, a part of Yemen, and it is perhaps the most alien-looking place on Earth. The landscape is dominated by a truly bizarre and wonderful creation of nature, the dragon's blood tree. When their bark is cut, they bleed a deep red sap, a substance prized since antiquity and the source of the tree's mythical name. Here, over a third of the plant life is found nowhere else on the globe. There are the bulbous trunks of the desert rose and strange cucumber-like trees clinging to the rocky terrain. The island's human inhabitants have lived in harmony with this strange environment for centuries, their culture and language as unique as the flora and fauna that surround them. We journey now to the Great Rift Valley in northern Tanzania, to the edge of a body of water that defies all expectations. This is Lake Natron, a shallow salt lake that greets the eye not with the familiar blue of water, but with an astonishing, almost shocking palette of deep reds and vibrant pinks. The lake's startling color is caused by vast colonies of salt-loving microorganisms known as halophiles, which thrive in the lake's incredibly alkaline waters. Animals that die and fall into the water become victims of the lake's chemical trap, preserved in eerily lifelike poses by the high concentration of sodium carbonate. Yet even in this seemingly inhospitable place, life finds a way. Lake Natron is astonishingly the world's most important breeding ground for the lesser flamingo. They build their mud nests on the salt flats and feed on the algae that gives the lake its color. Our journey now takes us to the vast, empty expanse of the Karakum Desert in Turkmenistan. Here, in the middle of nowhere, the ground itself is on fire. This is the Darvaza gas crater, known to locals and travelers alike by a more fitting name, the Door to Hell. The crater's origin is a story of geological miscalculation. In 1971, Soviet geologists, believing they had found a substantial oil field, began drilling. However, they had drilled into a massive cavern of natural gas. The ground beneath their rig collapsed, creating a large crater that began to vent enormous quantities of methane gas. Those few weeks have now stretched into more than 50 years, and the fire shows no sign of extinguishing itself. At night, its orange glow can be seen from miles away, a malevolent beacon in the darkness. Standing at its edge, one can feel the intense heat and hear the roaring inferno as countless flames dance and leap from the earth, a stark reminder of the immense, untapped energy that lies just beneath our feet. We venture now into the highlands of South America, to a place where three nations converge: Venezuela, Brazil, and Guyana. Here, rising from the lush rainforest, is a geological formation so immense and otherworldly it inspired Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's The Lost World. This is Mount Roraima, a colossal tabletop mountain, or tepui, whose flat summit is perpetually shrouded in a sea of clouds, creating the illusion of a floating island in the sky. The journey to Roraima's summit is a pilgrimage through time. The sheer 400-meter-high cliffs have isolated its peak for millions of years, creating a unique ecological bubble. As you breach the cloud line, you enter a landscape unlike any other on Earth. It is not a place of soil and soft vegetation, but a stark blackened rockscape, sculpted by wind and water into bizarre and haunting shapes. Carnivorous pitcher plants which trap insects to supplement their diet are common here. Tiny black frogs, so unique they are unable to hop and instead crawl across the wet rocks, hide in the crevices. Standing on the summit of Roraima is an experience that borders on the spiritual. You're walking on rocks that are among the oldest on the planet, surrounded by swirling mists that alternately hide and reveal breathtaking vistas of the endless jungle below. Our travels take us now to southwestern Turkey, to a hillside that appears to be frozen mid-cascade, covered in a blanket of brilliant white. This is Pamukkale, which translates to Cotton Castle in Turkish, and the name is remarkably apartment for centuries. Mineral-rich thermal waters have flowed down this mountainside, creating a breathtaking landscape of travertine terraces, glistening pools and petrified waterfalls that look as though they belong in a fairy tale ice kingdom. The magic of Pamukkale is a work of geological art, painted over millennia. As this super-rich water emerges and flows down the 200-meter-high cliff, it cools and releases its mineral load, building up layer upon layer to form this spectacular natural structure. At the top of the Cotton Castle lie the ruins of the ancient Greco-Roman city of Hierapolis, founded as a thermal spa in the 2nd century BC. People would travel from all across the Roman Empire to bathe in these sacred, mineral-rich pools, believing in their curative properties. Today, visitors can walk barefoot on the hardened surfaces and wade through the shallow, turquoise pools that collect in the terraces. The sensation is unique. The warm water flowing over the strange textured rock underfoot, with panoramic views of the valley below. Pamukkale is a testament to the slow, patient and artistic power of water, a place where the Earth's inner heat breaks through to the surface to create a landscape of serene, almost blindingly white beauty. Beneath the romantic, bustling streets of Paris lies another city entirely, a silent subterranean world that holds the remains of over 6 million people. We descend now into the catacombs of Paris, a 200-kilometer network of ancient limestone quarries transformed into the world's largest grave. This is not a place for the faint of heart. It is a chilling, profound, and meticulously organized empire of the dead, a stark memento mori hidden deep beneath the City of Light. Femurs are stacked into neat walls, interspersed with rows of skulls that seem to gaze out from the darkness. Plaques bear the names of the cemeteries from which the bones came, and somber poems about mortality are carved into the stone. The story of the catacombs begins in the late 18th century, when the cemeteries of Paris were overflowing. The stench was unbearable, and the ground had become saturated with human remains. At night, solemn processions of horse-drawn carts would transport the bones to their new resting place. It is a powerful confrontation with the fragility of life and the great equalizer of death. We find ourselves now on the Altiplano of Bolivia, over 3,600 meters above sea level, standing on the shore of a prehistoric lake that dried up long ago. What remains is a landscape so vast, so flat, and so white that it seems to defy the very concept of landscape. This is Salar de Uyuni, the world's largest salt flat. Spanning over 10,000 square kilometers, the sheer scale is difficult for the human mind to comprehend. The horizon seems to dissolve, playing tricks with perspective and depth perception. For most of the year, the Salar is a vast expanse of dry, cracked salt, forming hexagonal patterns that stretch to the horizon. In this immense whiteness, bizarre islands like Isla Incahuasi emerge, covered in giant ancient cacti that stand like silent sentinels in the salty sea, some of them over 900 years old. But the true magic of Salar de Uyuni reveals itself during the rainy season. A thin layer of water covers the salt flat, transforming it into the world's largest natural mirror. The perfectly flat surface reflects the sky with such flawless clarity that the horizon vanishes completely. At night, the water reflects the brilliant stars of the high-altitude sky, creating an immersive 360-degree celestial experience. You feel as if you are floating in the middle of the cosmos, suspended between two star-filled skies. Our quest for the extraordinary takes us to a highly protected and remote corner of the Arizona-Utah border in the United States. Access is so restricted that only a handful of people are permitted to visit each day, preserving its delicate beauty. This is the Wave, a sandstone rock formation that seems less a work of geology and more a fluid sculpture frozen in time. It is a place where solid rock appears to flow and ripple like water. The Wave is a masterpiece of erosion, sculpted over 190 million years. What makes this formation so unique are the thin, alternating layers of iron-rich and lighter-colored minerals within the rock. As water from rainfall began to carve through the stone, it etched away the softer layers more quickly, revealing these stunning, undulating patterns. The journey to the Wave is an adventure in itself, a challenging off-trail hike across the rugged desert terrain with no marked path. This deliberate difficulty ensures that only the most determined and respectful visitors will reach it. Stepping into the Wave is like entering another dimension. The swirling troughs of red, orange, pink and yellow sandstone curve and twist around you, creating a kaleidoscopic vortex of color and form, a beautiful testament to the patient, artistic power of wind and water working on ancient stone. We travel to the far reaches of Patagonia, to a remote glacial lake straddling the border of Chile and Argentina known as General Carrera Lake. Here, hidden along a rugged shoreline accessible only by boat, nature has carved one of its most elegant and breathtaking creations. These are the Capillas de Marmol, or marble caves, a network of caverns, tunnels and pillars sculpted not from ordinary rock but from solid marble. For over 6,000 years, the relentless waves of this vast turquoise lake have been crashing against a peninsula of solid marble. The water, rich in glacial minerals, has slowly dissolved and sculpted the stone, carving intricate passageways and swirling vaulted ceilings. The result is a geological wonder, a natural cathedral of stone that reflects the lake's ethereal blue light in a dazzling display of color and texture. The experience begins with a boat journey across the cold, brilliantly colored waters of the lake, with the snow-capped Andes Mountains providing a dramatic backdrop. Inside, the water's color is projected onto the smooth, curved ceilings, creating a constantly shifting liquid light show. The swirling patterns on the marble seem to dance and flow with the movement of the lake, a perfect symphony of water, light and rock. Our final destination is an island renowned for its unique wildlife, but we are here to explore one of its most formidable landscapes. In western Madagascar lies the Tsingy de Bemaraha National Park, a place so impenetrable it is known as the land where one cannot walk barefoot. This is a vast, surreal forest made not of trees but of razor-sharp limestone pinnacles, a geological fortress that has created a haven for some of the world's rarest creatures. These limestone formations were once a solid plateau beneath the water. Tectonic activity pushed the plateau upwards, and for millions of years, heavy rainfall has eroded it, leaving behind this dense labyrinth of needle-like spires. To navigate the Tsingy, one must rely on a series of suspension bridges, cables and ladders. It is a true adventure, climbing through a landscape that seems designed to repel intruders. Below the sharp peaks, in the canyons and caves, lie isolated ecosystems teeming with life. The Deccan's sifaka, a species of lemur, has adapted to this treacherous environment, leaping with astonishing agility from one razor-sharp pinnacle to another. Chameleons, bats and rare birds find refuge in the crevices and canyons. The Tsingy de Bemaraha is a dramatic example of how life adapts to even the most challenging conditions. A spectacular, spiky sanctuary that remains one of the last truly wild and unexplored places on our planet. We have journeyed from the alien shores of Socotra to the stone forests of Madagascar, witnessing 10 places that stretch the limits of imagination. These are not mere destinations. They are powerful reminders of our planet's immense creativity. The Earth holds these secrets not to hide them, but perhaps to reward the curious, to inspire awe in those who seek to look beyond the surface. Each of these wonders tells a story of time, pressure, and the relentless forces of nature. The world is so much larger and more mysterious than we often perceive in our daily lives. These hidden gems are proof that there is always something new to discover. Of all the incredible places we've seen today, which one has truly captured your imagination the most? Which unreal landscape would you dream of experiencing for yourself? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. I can't wait to hear your stories and see which wonders have inspired you. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible exploration. If you believe that the world's greatest treasures are often hidden from plain sight, then I warmly invite you to subscribe and join our community of adventurers. There are countless more wonders to uncover, and our next journey will take us deep into the heart of ancient mysteries. Until then, keep exploring and never ever lose your sense of wonder.